Hi, this is Marie Arnesson Galler, and this is the 261st episode of the Cultra Trail Running Podcast.
Cultra Trail Running Podcast. Running. Cultra. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. I'm your host, Art Byram, and I am joined today by the full Cultra crew is in the house here. This is great. She's just bursting with energy with sporting a new hairstyle. And you're thinking I'm going with Celeste Ding Dong, but I'm not.
I know.
I'm like,
so saucy.
That's right. I'm making it easy and then like making it awkward. We have evil Becky Burke.
You know what would be really funny is if you were making it awkward and you're like Fred Morello.
Yeah,
that's right.
New hairstyle.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Can we color Fred's hair?
Oh, yes. Both of them. Yes.
That'd be so much fun.
Fred and I'll
like
have a die-off. So
yeah, I like it. Yes, thank you for the compliment. It's very darker than I thought, but I like it.
It looks good. It's
very
dark like
shimmery.
tinted glass.
Looks good. It's working for you.
Yeah, her hair is dark like tinted glass. So also rounding up the salon, we have Celeste Fong a Ding Dong.
My hair's in 2 weeks. I'm getting it done.
She is. Her
Changing colors.
Her hair is
I know this is
right
the most uncolored that I've ever seen it.
I know. Well, because
that's only because it's back in the pony.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Fred has been on he's actually been on this like strike of not dyeing his hair, like a streak for a while now. Fred, how long has it been every day that you have not dyed your hair?
I think it's been like pretty much all of it. All those days, all my days, all the days of our lives, like sand through the hourglass. Or
that's legit. So are the days, I don't know.
All the days of my hair.
The days of our lie. It could be if you dyed your hair, but and we have Fred Morello. So
I'm
welcome,
here.
Fred.
I'm here. I haven't been here, and I had all kinds of things I wanted to talk about, but the river keeps moving, and life just passed on.
The wheel of life, right? It just keeps turning.
Yep.
So there are people. Before I talk and give a proper introduction. A properly inadequate introduction to our tonight's guest. I just want to tell people about the podcast who might not have listened before. So the Cultra Trail Running Podcast is a place where we can get together and discuss all the fun shit that happens on the trails that most normal people don't care about. Our headquarters are located in the belly of the Beast Coast, Glastonbury, Connecticut. So most of our stories involve Northeast trail running or Northeast trail runners. The language we use is explicit and raw, like the trails we run on, like broomstick ledges. So do not listen to this with your kids. Now, I know everybody was thinking that we're going to start our show off with another commercial for Booger Nutrition. Like you can't pick a better nutrition for your running, right? And you can't even pick your nutrition for your friend. But we're not going to, we don't have sponsorship. We are actually 112% listener supported here. So, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. If you want to support the show, you can do something like buy Becky food. She's just like shoving food in her face right now. She's just like, this is the calm before the storm.
That's why I keep putting it on mute. And then I start to laugh or I go to say something. I'm like, shoot, I'm on mute.
Yeah.
But I don't want to crunch, but I'm eating Chinese food and it's so good.
Okay. That's good.
I made
good
Chinese food tonight.
Did you bring enough to share with everyone, Becky?
I did. And I'm sure it'll taste just delicious by the time I see you in person to eat it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
There you go.
You're welcome.
So enough of this tomfoolery, right?
Yes.
Jocularity.
Yeah. Sometimes we have runners on the show, and sometimes we have parents on the show, and sometimes we have like smart people on the show, right? Right. And tonight, and sometimes we have not just runners, but we have fast runners on the show. But tonight,
sometimes we have none of those things. They're not a runner. They're not smart. They're not a parent. And they're not, what's the other thing?
Fast.
Parent.
Yeah.
I'm only
they
joking.
can't drive that far.
Yeah.
So, and
Anyways.
we've had people who are familiar with other lands besides Connecticut, like people who have actually been outside of the state. So tonight is one of those nights where we're back. So you can't say anything about us at this point. You can't say shit because we have an awesome guest tonight. Marie Arnesson Galler. Now Marie has such a I have to say, going into she and I just ran Bimbler's Bluff 50K this weekend, and both finished about the same time. I would say like within 4 hours of each other or something like that, 3 or 4 hours of each other.
Virtual tie. Virtual tie.
Okay. It was a virtual tie at the start. Well, okay. So she was ahead of me at the start, but all right. So a bunch of us and a bunch of excellent people got a chance to run Bimbler's Bluff for the 15th time this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So just to kind of go into that just really quick. That was actually my first race that I ever did. My first 50K was at Bimbler's Bluff, and I did the first year that they had it too. So I ran that 15 years ago, and I've run it probably 4 or 5 times. Other people like Hundo Joe Lasky, he's run it 15 times now. So
that's pretty impressive. I'm about streaks. I think streaks are good.
That's good, Fred. That's good.
Someday I'm going to try one.
You should, Fred.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I'm going to paddle Fred's canoe here. So Fred has a roughly 40-year daily running streak with a little asterisk, with the COVID asterisk thrown in the middle there. So if you want to know anything about run streaks, Fred is the guy to talk to. But now everybody's saying, Art, listen, you're 25, 30 minutes into this show. You have this guest here and you haven't let her say anything since the start of the show. So Marie Arnesson Galler, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, was originally from Sweden, came to the US, is an incredible fast runner, a mother of 3, and she's she's got a cool job, and I want to hear some more about that. It sounds like it must be pretty interesting. I know she's involved in the energy industry, has worked on nuclear reactors, and a whole bunch of other things. So I guess you don't it's not like you can't be like Homer Simpson working at a nuclear facility, right? I mean, so it's I don't know. So welcome, Marie, first of all. So thank you for joining us tonight on Cultra.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how are you feeling after Bimblers?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I went for a jog today, and a quick swim. We live right by the coast here, and I really enjoy going in the water.
Oh,
good. I think it's good for the muscles also with the cold water. So
you're still going in, like, do you go into a sauna?
To sauna? Yeah, I would if I had one, but
okay.
I don't have one here.
Yeah, I
know.
No,
but it is big with the cold bath bathing in Sweden, and then normally there is a sauna, or you just have to get dressed really quick.
So do you go into the Baltic or?
No, well, I'm not sure what it's called in English. It's Kattegat, so like between Sweden and Denmark.
Oh, okay.
That comes down, North Sea, isn't it?
Okay, is that like? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's probably, and I have to look at a map, but I just I just visited Helsinki, so
Okay.
I'm like, that's like saying, oh yeah, I know all about Kansas. I was just in New York. So
no, I lived on the east coast of Sweden for the last 5 years. But there, I don't think it's the real like open sea. It's not so salty water either.
Oh, gotcha.
Over on the west coast where I'm from, it's more connected to the Atlantic, so more open.
So is that like a fjord or a kind of like a more like glacier melt or something that you're in, or that's how I picture it? I don't know if that's accurate or
maybe not. But it's it's similar to what it is in Denmark, but also the coast there on the west coast of Sweden I haven't been to Maine, but a lot of people say that it looks like Maine, like
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
this rocky and
Rocky
some
and
hills. Yeah.
yeah, and lots of gators around and stuff, I suppose, like so. No, not too many gators.
Moose.
Okay.
We got lots of moose and boar.
Yeah,
Wild
yeah.
boar.
Very good. So tell us a little bit. So you were born in Sweden then, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I've been to the US for on 2 occasions before we moved here this summer. So then I was first an au pair back in 2005, 2006 sometime. And then I met my American guy. And we first did the long distance thing, but then I moved here in 2008. And then we lived in Connecticut. So 2008 till 2012.
Okay.
And then we moved to Sweden and we've been there for the last 10 years.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So so let me get this right then. So when you met him in 2005, is that right then? Or
yeah, something like that.
Very good. Huh.
A long time ago. Yeah.
Okay. Now how did you meet him?
Through his brother who was studying. So it was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That's where I was as an au pair. And both him and his brothers and his dad, they all went to Lehigh. So his brother was there at the time, and then he kind of told Mike then that, hey, I have this Swedish girl you should meet. Yeah.
And nobody's ever nobody in the history of the world has ever said no to that, right? I mean, like, come on, is that like a trick question? So very good. And that's cool. And then so you were away, and you and then you finished up. So when you were an au pair, were you already you were still going to school at that point, or?
No, I was done with university, so I kind of did it the other way around. Most girls go between high school and college. But then I think I did it right because I got more out of it, I feel. A lot of the younger girls, they didn't really want to do things. They wanted to just hang in and watch a movie or something. But I really got to experience a lot during my year here.
Okay.
Gotcha. And I was over 21, which, helps a little bit.
So are you saying that you took you came to the US after school or during? I didn't quite get that. How?
Yeah, so I was already done with engineering school, and then I went as a year as an au pair. I already had a job lined up at the nuclear plant in Sweden also, but
yes,
I just figured this is a good chance, and I should take it.
So I got to tell you something, and this is going to kind of give everybody a little bit of an insight to you, I think. And hopefully we're going to learn a little bit more about you through this experience. So I wanted just to see, when people say nuclear power plants and things like that, I mean, everybody thinks like mushroom clouds and cooling towers and 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and all that. And when you think about safe nuclear power, I think that I tend to think of at least like Scandinavian countries, and so I just, that was just like my hot take, so to speak, on it. So I figured, let me check things out. So I went and I wrote, I typed in like nuclear accidents in Sweden and Googled it. And there was only one on record. And that's when somebody took somebody left a wet vac, I think, in a reactor or in a cooling tower or somewhere where it shouldn't have been. And it caused it caught on fire and caused this big blow up. But then as I read this, I happened to notice that this was the same plant that you worked at. And I was thinking to myself, did we find out the cause of this major accident? Because it's the only one in Swedish history that was there. And
there was actually one, but that's more recent. That's like maybe 1.5 years ago. But both of those things happened after I left.
Yes. So Ringles,
yeah.
right? I think is that, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but Ringles, I think, is where it was, right? And that's
Ringhouse. Yeah.
Ringhouse. Yes. And you, what I saw is that you got brought in as like a safety person or a safety inspector right after the incident happened, I think, according to your resume. So it looks like the shit hit the fan, and then they were like, we don't know what we're gonna do. We got to call somebody in. I'm calling Marie. She's gonna square it away.
Right.
So
get Marie in here. We're gonna fix this now.
That's right. Get the mop, get the bucket, get the big yellow boots like Jimmy Carter had, right? And we're sending you in. So then I guess you went to work there right after that? Is that right, or is that timeline wrong, you think?
Yeah, I think that happened afterwards, but I might be wrong. It might have been because I worked there for a little bit, then I went as an au pair, and then I came back to Ringhouse. So, and yeah, I really mixed it up, so I don't know.
Okay,
when that happened. But Ringhouse did. They have like a running club, and so I got to travel and run with them a little bit. I was at Cuba and did what they called a marathon, but it was more like a relay. So we did like 10K each. And it was teams from all over the world. And then we had some kind of, nuclear conference also, just to make it official.
Huh.
But it was, yeah.
So they had a running club as part of a running club at work. So what was the name? What was the name of the team? Did they give themselves a good nuclear name, or how would it translate?
It was something that had to do with nuclear. I can't think of it right now. I might remember after a while.
Okay, all right. But you've had some speed for a while, because I went to find some. It's hard to find records on your runs or anything like that, but I did find one notice of you in a Scott Livingston blog, who is Debbie Livingston's husband, and he writes. He's been writing about running for a long time, and he wrote about a race that I think was in 2011, a Bite of the Bluff, which I think was a 10K trail race.
And was it the Bimbler's Bash then?
Oh, Bimbler's Bash. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what it was. Yeah, Bimbler's Bash. And I think you came in and you did win that. And, a couple five, maybe, I think it was just over, I have the times wrong, but it was roughly just over an hour-ish. And you were like a good 5 minutes ahead of, of anybody else in the race, including Deb Livingston, who is somebody that if I want to kind of gauge where you are at there, that's who, for Fast Cats, that's somebody to gauge against. So that was cool.
No,
So
I do remember that race, because I've only been doing orienteering before that, and some running races, but not really trail, because trail, it didn't really become big in Sweden until maybe around that time, 2010, 12. And we also call it trail, even though it's called something else in Swedish.
Okay.
Yeah. But when I was living here then, starting 2008, I was training a lot of orienteering. There was lots of orienteering people in New Haven, and that's where we were living, right by West Rock. They were all kind of going to Yale, and we went on training camps with the national team, and it's not so big here in the US, so you quickly just ended up being in those type of groups. And then I heard about this trail race, and I'm like, because the running is my strong part of orienteering. The technique, if I'm lucky, if I have a good race and I find everything right, then I could be really successful, but I'm a stronger runner than I am technically. So anyway, I figured like, oh, trail racing should be something I'm good at. But I was kind of nervous about it because I was thinking, how does it work? You know, when it's single track, how do you get ahead of one another?
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was my first, and I noticed that wasn't the problem. You know, as long as you got a good position, and
then you just run from the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you run in the front, you don't have to worry about passing people. So I understand what you mean 100%. So you know, that's great. So you ran with, maybe you did some orienteering. You probably know Clint Morse then?
Yeah, I know. I met him a bunch of times. Yeah.
Yeah. He's my connection to the orienteering world, I suppose. You know, I think he works for one of the organizations now on a national level. So I think he's doing a bunch of that. So, wow. So you started the trail running, and so was that one of your earlier races then?
Yeah, I would say so. And then, I mean, I would continue with orienteering, but since I had kids, I had my first kid when 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also thought that it was a little bit easier with trail racing rather than orienteering. Orienteering is usually more remote, like you're out in the middle of the woods, and I don't know, it's a little bit more complicated. So trail racing is quite easy, you know, go there, run, come back, and usually not that far to go maybe. So I've done a bunch in Sweden, and it's more orienteering that I've done in other countries in Europe. So
okay, so if one were to travel to Sweden and go and do a race there, do you have any recommendations for people? Like, what's been your favorite race in Sweden, would you say?
No, I really like the races up where we last lived now. Then it's like about 2 hours south from Stockholm on the east coast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Kolmården.
And coal means mountain, is that right? Or
coal means coal.
Coal.
So, yeah, but
okay.
I really don't know if it has to do with that. But it's kind of like a ridge with really beautiful terrain, and it's along, kind of like a fjord or like a body of water. And no, it's just like really good people that put on these races. It's more about the experience, and they try to make a really nice course. It's cheap. Yeah, I've kind of been surprised of how expensive it is to race here. And somebody explained to me that maybe it has to do with the race organizer has to cover for if somebody's going to sue them. And that sounds crazy to me because, I mean, people want to do this to just get out in the woods and not. Is that really what's...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it seems like it should be like that. And I mean, I think it depends on the races here. I think that there's a big divide, I think, in the prices, and maybe you guys can kind of weigh in on that.
Doesn't a lot of times too it have to do with just something that I hadn't really thought of that much, is that some races, in order for them to use that area of land, it costs so much money from the race director. I know a couple races in Connecticut that I'm always like, I'm not doing those races, they're way too much money. And I haven't, but I know I learned sometime later that part of why the cost was so high is that for the race director to be able to use that area was really expensive for them. So that drove up the cost, which is stinky, but I guess, what are you going to do? But I'm all about like cheaper races. So,
Well, and some of them have like, if it's road, then they have to pay for, police, and they're closing roads or whatever, permits, it can get expensive.
Yeah, but sometimes when you like look at some of the trail races, I mean, it is kind of like you're saying, Art, like some races where you're like, wait, why is this costing so much money? And then other races where you're like, oh my gosh, like how are you, able to do all of this? And it, cost me $20. So, but I'm sure there's a lot of different factors that go into that. What do you think, Fred?
There are a lot of them that cost nothing, Becky.
Yep.
Badass races that are really pretty, pretty established. I was just thinking, like the other day, I ran the Cape Cod 100 4 times. That was free. I run.
Is that the really cold one in February?
No, that's a marathon. But this was this bootleg 100 that one of my friends put on for 4 years, and then there's the Ancient Oaks in Florida, free, and the Viaduct in Pennsylvania, also free. Those are both 100-milers. I mean, those are all 100-milers. No entry fee. So you can, if you poke around.
I wonder how they pulled that off.
Okay.
So freedom is free.
Freedom can be free. There is a free lunch.
There is. I mean,
butterflies are free to fly. Or
it's going to be like jelly beans and like, they might be dirty, but somebody else's hands all over them. But
yeah, you're those races. You're welcome to bring your own stuff and share it. But it's better than paying like $300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hands down.
Not much support, but and we all like support.
So,
Save that.
And running is a good support.
I like that.
Too early. It's too early, Fred.
No, I have it on good authority that Tony Bonanno said you guys said support like 2,000 times in the last episode. So I'm just trying
more than that.
We did.
Trying to keep it going.
We were saying support a lot. There was a lot of support in that race. So Marie, tell us a little bit more then. Am I to understand? And Fred, tell me how I'm doing on my cross-examination here. Am I to understand from you that this was your first 50K ever?
Was it really?
Yeah. I've never done an ultra. And the longest race I've done is the 30K.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Which is like half of this one, because this wasn't even really a 50K. It was more like a 50K-ish.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I'm glad I found out.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Beforehand that it was a little bit longer, because it was some girls in the line for the porta potties before the race. They said, "You know that it is longer than 50K, right?" And I'm like, "No, I did not know." So they said it helps. It helps to know, and I'm glad I knew. Still, when I came to cross the Route 80 the second time, I was so confused. I thought that I had another 4 miles to go. And they're like, no, it's only 2. Oh, good.
And that's kind of threw me off a little bit too, I have to say, because I was expecting it to be 3 for some reason. I thought 3 was the number.
Did they change the course?
They did.
Oh, okay.
So I have to say this. So they have changed the course. They actually changed it last year, from what I understand, and I hadn't run it in probably 3 years or so. I have to say this, just to make a blanket, my hot take on the race right now is that, like, if you're not running this race and you're an ultra runner within the sound of my voice, you're like missing out, because this is a fantastic course.
But what if when you did run it, you were like an evil version of yourself that just is not? Should you just go back and try it again?
Yes.
No, because listen, once you're evil, you can't go back, right?
You can't. I mean, hopefully you can't get worse. Like,
I just want to see the evil.
No.
Yeah, they'll be placing bets. We could charge admission. We could charge people. We could charge people more to work the last aid station, just to watch you. It's like, just to watch you come through that last aid station. We could charge a lot of money for that.
When you were saying you went through and you thought you had 4 miles to go and it was 2 and you were excited. When I ran that race several years ago, I had like the opposite experience, where in my head, I don't know how many miles I thought it was. I think for some reason, it was a very specific amount. I think I was under the impression it was like 1.7 or something. And I was just not having a good day. Like, it just wasn't my day. And when I asked how many miles there were, It's not like they were like, oh no, it's not 1.7, it's 11.7. It was something like, no, it's not 1.7, it's 3 or 3.5. And I just had like a full meltdown. Like I just threw my plastic cup on the ground. I think I started crying. It was so like, I just was like, what? No! And it was just comical because you just like, I just looked like a 4-year-old having a temper tantrum. I just was so emotionally depleted and exhausted. And I was able to laugh about it later, much later. So, yeah. Anyways, I digress.
So going into this, what were your thoughts going into the race then? I mean, being that this was a new, now had you gone out for just a fun run of anything close to this distance, or not so much?
No, not really close. So me and another guy, since I got here mid summer, then I got in contact with some runners up in Old Lyme. They call themselves, or Niantic, so the Niantic Run Crew. And also there's something called the CT Wave Runners, I think. Plus I know Alex from before in the West Rock Ramblers. Since we used to live there, I got to know him 10 years ago. And that's also where I met Russell and Michelle for the first time. And Russell started calling me IKEA. Maybe you've heard.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta hand it to Russell on that one. That's it. God, like that's so like obvious. I mean, nuclear IKEA. So
now, anyway, when I heard that there was one guy doing this and that it was so close, I figured, I've been wanting to do, not the regular marathon, but the mountain marathon. And then it's like, well, here it is, and it's not any mountains really. This would probably be a good first one to do. And I checked with Alex, and he had done it 8 times. So he gave me a little bit of an intro to it. And then also I saw about the bites of the Bluff. So I went and I did the 3rd bite, which was this long one, the toughest part where you go over the bluff, and pretty much the one the furthest away, that little loop over there.
Okay.
So about 25K. So there I also got to meet Josh, and we ran that together kind of on the bite, and he showed me the way. And the other to prepare, I mean, Alex also helped me with this, how to fuel, and I've talked to my cousin and other runners back home that I know have done ultras, of how they think, and he also showed me this. It's like a web interview with a friend of ours who did the UTMB for the first time this year. He did it in 27 hours, and really, really impressive. But he's done many 100 miles, and he did the UTMB without poles, which he regrets, because he said he probably lost about 3-4 hours on it. But anyway, he also had different thoughts of mental strategy, or mental non-strategy. And I knew I wasn't doing a 100-mile, but still it was good to hear a little bit of, how to think, how to, eat or drink, or.
Gotcha.
So I had that.
So how much with your job, because you have a very challenging job. I mean, it's one that doesn't, you're not working regular hours, I understand, or not, regular daylight hours here. And then 3 kids and all that, and a challenging job. How do you, how many miles are you able to get in a week? Or kilometers, if you want.
Kilometers. I rarely get up to 50 kilometers a week. So no, I just do whatever I can, but it's no, I don't have a certain goal, and I just figured that if I have like a few like 20, 30K runs before this Bluff, I think I can do it. And yeah, and that's kind of like, normally if I do races, it's not longer than 20K. So then for that, I don't feel I need to go that much distance when I'm training.
Sure,
so like,
sure.
You know.
So how did you feel after this race in comparison to, you said a lot of times you do like 20K type stuff, like
yeah. I mean, I did feel some ache during the race. Like I have had some trouble with my hamstrings, and then I think it kind of moved and was pulling behind my knee type. But it wasn't that bad. And also, I was thinking in the end, I was alone for the last 23K or so of the race. And then I was thinking, I'm so tired. When I get back, I'm just gonna throw myself on the ground and lay there. But
Yes,
I was so pumped up, and it was just such a happy day that after finishing, and Russell was there, and yeah, my husband actually didn't make it to my finish because he looked up the course record, and he's like, oh, probably a little bit more than that. he didn't come until like maybe 15 minutes after I finished. But it was just really nice hanging out there, and no, I didn't lay down.
Yeah, I guess you didn't. And so, like, did anybody? Now I know they do. Sometimes they do. They do doping tests at the end of these races and things like that. Did anybody bring a Geiger counter near you by any chance? Or anything? I'm just saying, because like, I don't know, like you're not running like 150 miles a week or anything like that, but you just absolutely crushed it. I mean, just to put it in perspective, you were like about an hour ahead of your nearest the second female. So who are,
and that's a speedy female.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a tough crowd too. So
excuse me.
So that's something. So did it get like, how did the run go for you? Like, did you feel like you had some low points there where you kind of, where things dragged a little bit at all? Or was it just kind of like, I mean, I know they didn't drag too much, but like, did you feel like things falling apart? Or
30 or so, I ran together with Josh, and we just chatted, and no, that was great. Like, he's also been an au pair, so we like kind of talked about being an au pair, and no, all sorts of things. And but then I noticed that he started to fall back a little bit, and it was because he had trouble with cramping. But it was really nice also because I know he knows the course, so I didn't have to focus so much on the markings. And some places it was not so well marked. So then when I got alone, pretty soon after that, it was the aid station at, what is that, 34, 35K. Renee's Way, I think.
Yes. Okay.
And there also, I got so pumped up from them doing the bells for me, and I came in alone, and it was really goosebumps.
I think that was the Schnips at Striders there, right? With the
yeah, it might have been
the papaya and green logo. Yeah, they were. I have to say, they were off the hook as far as it was like, I don't know. Yeah, it was a very good place to come into, I have to say. So
yes, after that, I mean, I went on a high for a little bit, just from them cheering me on so well. And and then when it got to that long gravel section, there was sometimes, kind of far between the flags. So then also I started worrying that I was not on the right track. And also I started looking back thinking, oh, what if there's a fast girl that's going to catch up, But no, then eventually I got to that crossing is that the last aid station? Yeah, and the crossing of the 80 again. And
Yes.
no, I was kind of convinced that I was coming from the wrong direction or something. I was confused, but no, that
Yeah.
was
It was I have to say that, like, I think you're not alone in I think there were a couple people who got off course.
Yep.
For me, I don't know what happened. But I didn't I got off course one time, and it was just I forget what I was doing. I was trying to like do some fine motor skill thing, like I don't know, like I was trying to get a salt pill out of a baggie, and just because my brain, I was just having a bit of a moment, and I went probably 15 or 20 feet on a straight course instead of going into the woods, and then Bessic ran by me and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" So I had a friend just call me back, but besides that, I didn't have any. I don't know. All the trails just seemed to like jump out at me. The turns did, for the most part, But it was what? So what was your favorite? What was your favorite part of the course?
I mean, I really liked the beginning and the end there. That little section with the pine needles and when it was a bit switchbacky. I mean, of course, it was tough with those hills coming back when you have all those miles in your legs already. But no, I mean, I like it all in all. I know some people were kind of complaining that it was muddy or wet, but that really doesn't bother me. I like it like that.
Yeah.
And I have good shoes for it. I have the orienteering style, very minimal, so they don't get wet at all. And yeah.
Gotcha. So were you in Innovates? I got to ask you now. What kind of?
I was.
You were? Oh, me too.
Yeah.
That's probably why
nice.
we both did so well, right? So
yeah, right. But I'm having trouble finding them now. I had to order a pair from Canada.
Oh.
And then I ordered some in Sweden just to make sure that they don't like stop making them or anything.
Gotcha. So what model are you wearing from the Innovates?
The X-Talon 210.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm wearing the O-Rocks, the orienteering shoe with the spikes in it. So
okay, with the metal spikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really help me that much, but it intimidates the hell out of people. They're like, "What the hell's that?" And maybe they like trip and fall or something. And, I pick up a place.
That's your tactic.
Yeah. No, I really do. I have to say I like them for the most part. They would have been mine were a little bit worn down. So they would have been coming up over broomstick ledges. There was just a big section of just, large rocks that you're coming off of, big flat stuff, that's angled down that can run you into trouble. But
I gotta ask you the number on your hat. Do you know what that means?
Oh, sure.
Do you know what it means?
Okay.
That's great. Yes. So so for people who aren't watching us on the video, which is probably everybody, this I'm wearing a 112 hat. So that's for the Cut 112.
Oh, that is okay. But it's also 911 in Sweden and Europe, I think.
Yes, it is. Thank you for telling me.
It is the emergency number.
It is, yes.
Okay.
It is. I kept meaning to bring that up because I did notice the signs, all over the place in Finland and Estonia there that said, in case of emergency, dial, 112. So there you go, people, right? Can't make it up. I didn't say it. She did. Wow. So if you'd like to join that, you can, I think you just qualified. So, with winning that. So, do you have any plans to try longer stuff, or what did you think of it?
No, I thought it, it was good, but I yeah, I'm not sure if I'm like a 100-mile type person.
Mhm.
If that's no, I'm thinking also what it does to the body and things like that. I don't want to put too much wear on it.
Yep.
But
I
yeah.
it's definitely not for everybody. So it's you know, and there's time to do that, right? So there's a lot of things to do in life, and you know, I think a lot of people feel compelled or would feel peer pressure, but honestly, like, you know, for anybody who's listening out there, like, if you don't think that 50Ks are your thing, and you don't want to do them, you don't have to do them. Okay. I have a friend who's been running most of his life, and he's never run a marathon. Okay. But he's won the Manchester Road Race, his age. Okay. Which is like, yeah. And he's like, I guess he's like 63 right now, but he's won Manchester Road Race, which is just, you know, impressive. You know, lots of that's as competitive as it gets around here. So for an age group win. So and he hasn't run a marathon, and he may not ever run one. And that's cool, you know. So so if you don't want to run a 50K, don't do it. If you don't want to run a 100-mile, or don't feel like you have to jump right to it, or that anything like that, you got to do what makes you happy. So so I got to ask like some other really important questions that a lot of people are wondering. Swedish fish, right? Can we talk Swedish fish?
Sure.
I mean, because we can't, like, you know, we can't waste an opportunity here. So are those popular? I mean, I know they are to a certain extent. Like, I saw them in Finland, but like not in the normal, not so many of the red ones, but more, you know, the salty ones and things like that. So maybe you could talk about Swedish fish a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not the same brand, and yeah, they don't look the same, don't taste the same, but we have lots of different candy that you can buy by the pound.
Mm-hmm.
So in any store you walk in, any regular food store, there's all these boxes, and you can go and scoop candy. It's kind of if you translate from Swedish like direct, it's loose weight candy. But when I said that, sometimes somebody's like, "Oh, you lose weight from the candy."
Yes, that's all I heard. Okay, I'm just saying.
But
it's
it's just that, yeah, you buy it by pound, and no, it's called Malaco, the fish candy, but I don't think it's the same maker or anything.
Or not Pastel Fiskar. Maybe I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, pastel is just like the color, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, because I did notice this, is that they had some that were so, like, they were so salty and just like dense that like only ultra runners would really, really love these things. So I did get as many as I could grab a hold of, but I ended up eating most of them. Sorry, kids. So, Daddy ate the candy again.
Seen also in runners I follow on Instagram, some that do a lot of marathon. Then they would load up on licorice the day before a marathon to like fill up some.
Like eat them?
The salt. Yeah, eat like a whole bag of licorice candy, like the real salty ones.
Wow.
Okay.
Fred, what do you think of that? Can you preload with licorice? Oh, you're muted.
You're
Fred.
muted.
You can, but it's not going to help you. Just like you can't preload with water. You see people with like their hydro flasks walking around at the Boston Marathon exposition and stuff. Nope. No. All they're going to do is make their body flush out all the salt because they're drinking too much water. So now you can't really pregame that stuff. Your body's a fantastic machine that you can't really, you can't hack it like that.
But can we pretend to hack it and just eat a lot of candy?
Yes, you absolutely can. You can have the big pasta dinner the night before. You can fill up on candy. You can do all that. Yeah.
I hate to once again be the intelligent adult in the room,
Oh,
or the
gosh.
mature adult. Maybe not intelligent. Okay, I'll take that. I withdraw that. But I know that the times that I've binged on sugar and then had, when I was training early in the morning, if I wake up after eating sugar, it was noticeable. Like, because there was a period of time, believe it or not, that I was all over my diet. Like, and then when I would go to try to run with my friends, I would just get my ass kicked if I ate sugar the night before. It was like I just lost my whole top gear would just disappear from loading on sugar. But
Interesting.
so Marie, what did you eat, or how did you were kind of like trying a new strategy because you hadn't been out that long before. What was your fueling like? I got to ask. Usually I don't get into that because that's usually like a boring subject to talk to people about. And it's something that like every podcast will always ask you, oh, what did you fuel on? But I'm curious just because it was you were trying something.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really do such a long run as a training run either. I tried to carry the vest and everything when I was doing my tryout runs, but while they were only 30K, I don't really get hungry or thirsty. But now, well, people told me that you have to fuel every so often, and I just like kept it on a schedule. So I took one goo before start and then one every 45 minutes until I ran out of them. And then I took a salt stick pill every half an hour about.
Okay.
And then at the aid stations, I just took like a sip of Coca-Cola on, I think each one, and then a small piece of banana at the Braemore station. And then in the end, because Josh had told me that Renee's Way had goo last year. So I figured, okay, I don't have to bring that many and I'll just grab some for the last stretch. But then I had some goo shoe balls, or those like candy looking. But I had picked the wrong flavor. It was one that tasted like cherry. And to me, some cherry, it smells like urinal cake, and I just couldn't eat that.
That is not what I thought you were going to say. That's
urinal
awesome.
cake. And that's Swedish for what? What is urinal cake Swedish for?
I think
no, piensoken or something.
so good.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, that's sometimes it is like, you know what? Sometimes it is like urinal cake, but some days we just eat that urinal cake and it helps us. So
No, I couldn't.
Becky's
but
never eating.
I have one more thing. I had this kind of
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no.
I think you're a little frozen up there,
We're
Marie.
so close. She had one more thing.
There was Uh-oh.
Maria.
Wow. Art, you scared her away.
Oh, you're back.
There
good.
she is.
Okay, good. We lost you for a second there, but now you're back.
Okay.
You said there was one more thing, and then the secret to the
froze.
universe and everything in the world
Oh,
is...
no. No, it was just that I had some fruit sugar pills that my mom sent from Sweden. Nothing special really, but I had those also.
You said fruit sugar, is that right?
Yeah, so fructose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I mean, it sounded like what you did kind of worked. Did you do okay after the goose ran out? Or did you feel like that you were any let down after that, or no? Or
no, I did fine. I don't think I even grabbed anything at the last aid station there. And also when I knew it was 2 miles instead of 4 left, then I was like, okay, I can make it. And I think I had the same time on the way out and in on that stretch.
Oh, very good.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I have to say,
right, man.
like all my fans are like now saying, what? How did this happen? Yeah, I didn't run the last section as fast going out. I mean, I slowed down a little bit on the way in the beginning, just because I was talking so much, so it's hard to like actually breathe and run that fast, but yeah, the end, I felt really good getting up until the last aid station, but then probably, unlike you, I'm much more high drama and I need a lot more.
Come on,
yeah,
Really?
I am, yeah. And I ran out of fuel probably 2 miles out from that aid station, and maybe it was just a mile and a half. But at any rate, I was dehydrated going into it, and so I just hit that last aid station at a low point and but I ran really well up until that point. I ran that like it was the finish line. And then I had 2 miles left, and I was like, "Oh, fuck it, you can all pass me. I don't really care." I got rolled.
See how you did.
I got rolled.
I was so focused on how well Marie did. I didn't look at how you did, Art.
Here's the thing.
Check it out.
I have to give myself a disclaimer here, and somebody can proof this if they care. Not that anybody cares. I was feeling mentally, I was feeling bad about my race because I know that in the past I did something like a 5:40 or something like that.
You did do something in the fives.
Yeah, it was 5 something, either 5:25 or 5:35 or 40 or something like that. Whatever, 5:05. No, and then this time I was over 7, and I was like, okay, and I figured, okay, that was a different me then.
7:09:44.
Yeah, but the course is a very different. Yeah,
never mind that.
Yeah. We're past that, Beck. Okay, time is just like, I'm getting to that. The excuse that I'm building up here. No, this new course is much more difficult than the old one. Allegedly.
Oh, now I'm really gonna do it.
Yeah, but I have to say this. It's more difficult, but it is. I don't know what it was, but you go up over broomstick ledges, which I don't think you did before.
I might have just gotten on my broom at that point.
Those were, remember when you came out to the, it was towards the end. I mean, because you actually hit it twice. You hit it just before you hit the bluff. You kind of flirt with them there. Okay, that was where you were going around those big boulders and then going and weaving through the trees, climbing down the big rocks, through the very narrow things. That was that part. But then at the end, you also hit it before you hit the easy gravel Monunketuk. You come off of the Matabesic Trail, and you climb up onto the top of a boulder, and it's just a big flat rock that you're on that kind of angles down, and you go through a series of those. Those are the big ledges up there that you're on, and it's still wooded. There's not a view, but there's not much of a view there, but it's just these big just these big rocks where you might have come out to those and said, I wonder which way I go, so.
But it might have been before, I lost Josh.
Before Josh?
So then, So then he knew the way. Okay. And we also went there on the bike where we did the preview.
Okay.
So that helped.
You also might have gotten there so fast, Art, that it was just easier to navigate like 2 hours ahead there.
It was like the daylight was very different.
Right, exactly. It was like the leaves differently. Yeah.
The leaves hadn't fallen off of the trees yet to obscure the path. It was like middle of the summer still. It wasn't late fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something also when you say daylight. It is quite popular with night trail races in Sweden, and that's something I really enjoy.
Ooh,
and
there's a lot of night racing.
So where they put up reflectors, just little tiny ones on the trees, and so like you find your way even better than in daylight on those kind of courses, and it's really cool. Yeah, everybody run with the headlamp, obviously. So no, those I really like, and I'm thinking of putting a course up here, but I'm not sure if it's legal because you're not supposed to go in the park after sunset. But
correct, allegedly.
Yeah.
And I would never tell anybody.
I want to have people experience it. It's just
no. I ran so Mid-State Massive is a race that's in Massachusetts, and part of their trail was marked that way. And it was, besides that, it wasn't marked that well. But these markers at night, really, you're right. You just pick them up, and it's like a cyclops deer in a headlight. You know, they're just up there. You see these little dots, and you can just follow them. So, wow. So that would be fun to do that. So, but I have to ask you now. So, I think Sweden, is that called the land of the midnight sun? Is that right? Do I have that right?
I don't know if it's called it that way, but we do have midnight sun.
Yeah.
Above a certain, whatever it's called, polar circle or something.
So when you're doing these runs in the dark, then are those like are those winter runs then, or?
Yeah, it's usually around this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, that sounds fun. So do people go snowshoeing, or do you do the Nordic skiing, or?
Yeah, where I used to live, I was really close to a cross-country ski club, and they also had biathlon. And not that we had that much snow because it's still in southern Sweden, but we would do training anyway, like where we run with poles, and I really enjoy that type of training. Makes you strong.
So I got to ask you, just because like the mileage that you mentioned, like that because you did say, did I hear you right where you said 15, like 1.5
or 50? Yeah,
I was hearing 50K a week.
50 kilometers a week.
Which is
okay.
Yeah, no, I said I rarely get up to 50 kilometers.
Right. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
And that's for somebody of your speed, that's still like
really
absolute minimal. Like,
but it just shows too that you don't need to do all these crazy miles, that everybody's so different. Like, you know,
I guess. But I do, because like, I mean, I'm not fast now, but if I do 30 consistently, I'm doing okay. But if I do like 25 consistently, I'm not. I'm in trouble, you know, like, so, you know. But so have you ever had like your VO2 max tested, or your any of your other like stats or anything like that?
I've done like a Cooper's test or whatever that's called, but no, I haven't done it where they actually take blood and.
Or are your parents athletic, or what is?
They also do orienteering, but no, my dad was kind of a runner, but not. He's not really running anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just I was just wondering, because that is really that's really amazing.
Very impressive. Yeah, it's really very impressive.
It really is.
Very.
Yes, it really is. So, and
thank you.
So, do you have it sounds like you enjoyed that. Do you have plans to keep doing this thing, or you have other interests that are going to like keep you away from it, or what are you thinking for the future?
No, I mean, I did start looking up this Blue Blaze Trail series to start, just to see what it is, what are the type of races, and it looks good now that I've done like the longest one there is. Then I think that the others, can't be that bad. But But I know some of the places because I've been there orienteering, like Mohawk Mountain and wherever there is orienteering maps, I have been. When we lived here, we went around both Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire quite a bit.
Okay. So did you go to J.B. Williams Park by any chance, or no?
No, I don't recognize that.
In Glastonbury? No?
No. Is there an orienteering map?
I have to say, I know there was. I don't know if
I
haven't been there in a while to see if it's still there, but I know that it was there. You know, I know the Scouts had something set up there. So, Wow. So, do you have anything on your calendar now as far as any races signed up, or you're just gonna kind of wait until something catches your eye?
Yeah, no, I have been like just looking if there's any other trail races, but I haven't seen any other now. So it was this one that I had marked, and then we'll see. I mean, maybe somebody will tell me about a good one.
Okay.
I did
All
see
right.
the next one on the trail series was already this upcoming weekend, but I think it was 30K, and I'll pass that. I think I need some more recovery now.
I think they have a 5K too, don't they? At Tunxus? 5K, 30K, 60K?
Yeah, maybe, but then I think that doesn't count to the series.
Oh, no, probably not. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
Very
Jimmy
good.
doing his run in his 5K, 10K around
Yes, he is.
Thanksgiving?
Yes, he is.
Thanksgiving, yes.
Thank
he
you for
is. I
bringing
just
that
had
up.
an email about that. Brookvale, is that the name of it?
Brooksvale.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Marie, you
Oh,
should do that
in
course.
Hamden?
Yes.
Is it in Hamden?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
It's the
there's a North
Sunday
Carolina
after
map. I know that
Thanksgiving.
one. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So like a small local trail race, or
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of
Yeah.
familiar faces.
Yeah.
Like us,
Great.
probably.
And the one and only Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy
We'll all
Jim.
be there.
Jimmy Mac.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mac. Jimmy.
That's right. I think Jacques, you probably ran with Jacques Serbach.
He didn't run.
Oh, he did. No, but he was
but
there.
I did talk to him afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He won this Bimbler's Bluff last year, I think.
Last year, yeah.
Yes.
And he's
Yep.
very mean. He wouldn't let me keep his dog.
That is very rude.
Really?
Of him.
Right?
And it's
Gigi,
you.
she was so cute. I know.
And you loved her, right?
I loved her.
Yeah.
She was so cute.
I'm surprised.
Oh.
Right?
If Celeste were allowed, she would have like 12 animals, probably 20 animals in her house.
I would
have
too.
all
Of
them.
various
Yeah.
species, though, not
You
just
know what?
dogs. She'd have like a raccoon, a possum.
We saw a raccoon the other day. My friends wouldn't let me pet that.
Bite a
Just-
nickel for every time someone said that to me.
Oh, man.
Oh, Becky.
Oh.
You know what? Forget about you're renewing your vows. You and I will get married and have like 1 million animals.
In.
So you thought I was
Sold.
weird, but I'm not. We're just gonna
No.
be like
Sold.
Perfect.
like
Cool.
we're married just so we can have like 500 million animals.
All of them.
Be like, where do you sleep? There's no room with all the animals and the feces and the fur.
Well,
You know,
that's actually
whatever.
my husband
Tomato,
said
tomato.
we can't. Yeah, no, my husband said we can't get any more dogs because there's not enough room in our bed for more dogs.
Just a minute. And
But
you're
your dogs are
renewing
like
your
a
vows?
pound.
Right? I'm like, you could find somewhere else to sleep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wait, but don't you
no.
only have 2 dogs?
Yeah, we have 2. And the big
And I
one is
say
7
only,
pounds. No, the big one's 7 pounds. Like, my 2 dogs aren't even a real dog added together.
Wow.
So,
So-
Marie, can I ask you? I don't know why when we're talking about this, it made me think of this. So, you're a mom.
Mhm. Yes.
Do you do you have a is your family really active? Like, do you do like a lot of like hiking or walking or running with your family? Like, are you guys outdoorsy?
I mean, coming here, we're kind of outdoorsy compared to other Americans, or like,
Yeah.
compared to the Americans. But no, not extremely.
How old are your kids?
9, 7, and 4.
Wow.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Very good.
Why do you have your hands full?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Oh, but that's such cute ages.
I mean, they're
though.
fun, but
That's
yeah.
they're still so fun. Oops. They're still so fun.
And
But
does
they
your
require
husband-
a lot of steering? Yeah.
does your husband, I know that you mentioned that he was going to be your, he came out after the race or to watch you finish. And we
Well,
know how
not
that turned out.
exactly.
Sorry, I don't want to give him a hard time, right? I shouldn't. But does he ever do any of
Run?
the orienteering or any of that stuff with you, or no, not so much?
Yeah, the orienteering and trail running up to a certain distance. But he did mention that he would like to just try to see if he can do like 10, 15, 20K but real slow then. And he has a bit problem with his knee. He had surgery many years ago, but I know he enjoys running in the woods, and that's nice to get a time to talk to each other. And and we bike also. He's more of a biker.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I got to ask you, has there been any with your job, as an engineer, and I guess it's like, it sounds pretty technical, the sort of things that you do, right? Does it have you had where has that helped your running at all, or has your running helped your job at all, or where have those, maybe you could talk about how those two things might have crossed somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it really helps me if I'm gonna think about a problem or some kind of solution, to just go out and run, and I feel I can really clear my head, but also like think in a different way. And so I miss being in Sweden, even though I only went to the office 1 day a week. But Finspång, where Siemens Energy is located, it's a beautiful, beautiful woods. It's kind of connected to this ridge I was talking about before, Kolmården. And then there's lots of people there who also likes to run. So we used to go running at lunch. So like the day in the office was really mostly about our long lunch break with the long run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Geez, are they hiring, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good. That's nice that you get that you get that support from them. So that's very good. All right. Did you guys have any questions or anything that like anything about? I mean,
I think
there's a lot.
Clearly,
uncovered still.
If 100 or 112 aren't necessarily your thing, I'm thinking that she needs to do the mutt.
Oh,
I thought of that.
Actually,
the butt.
To do the mutt.
The butt. 50. She would do very well in the butt.
Yeah.
Or the mutt.
Or the mutt.
Or the butt mutt.
Yes. So the cut 112. Now this, I know you're saying, Marie's saying, I would do very well in the butt. I mean, that's what Celeste said. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, what am I sign up for?
Wait a minute, what?
Hold on.
And now I'm going to pull out that safe word we talked about. And we made Celeste blush. Look at that.
Yay.
So
excuse me.
There's part of the 112, the cut 112, the last 50 miles of the course, we call the back ultra traverse, I guess we call it. I don't know what but even stands for, but somebody said, hey, it says but. So that kind of
because it's funny.
Yes. So it's the New England Trail, and it's actually a lot of what we ran on for this. So it starts at Berlin Turnpike on the Mattabeset Trail, goes through all the trails there, like boy, now I'm like drawing a blank here.
You go for Lamentation, Chauncey Peak, Higbee Mountain with Camel's Hump, Bezic Mountain,
Tri,
Pistapog, Miller, Bluffhead, and then you hit Monongahtuck, and it's just beautiful.
And you finish at the water in Guilford. You finish actually at going into the Long Island Sound in Guilford is where the 50 miles ends.
It's a great course. It's beautiful.
And it's based on not Finnish time. It's based on Swedish time too. So it starts at the ass crack of dawn on a Saturday morning in June. So, so there. So that's something. And there's, you can run it as fast or as slow as you want too. So,
and there will be many people starting then, or is it just that you join whoever is already on the course, or there's like a mass start of the?
there's a mass start, but 12. Mass start being in air quotes because it's this is a kind of under the radar kind of thing that Fred will explain.
It's not a real race, but it's a gathering of approximately 20 people who all leave at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a great community event. Like it's just there's a lot of community doing that. Like
it is. Yeah.
So I would expect at that point that the leaders from the Cut 112 will have already been through. So they'll be out on the course.
Ooh, and then you can catch up to them and taunt them and then drop them.
Yeah, you're going to drop them.
Oh, yeah, you will.
If
I pass some of the 112, you will, because I'm slow.
I didn't even get there. So you couldn't even pass me. I was still laying in the fetal position.
You didn't get there yet.
Next year. I haven't, yeah.
In your defense, it was a rough night.
Not all of my races are like this. I just happened to talk about the two horrible races.
So Marie, have you ever been on the steeplechase? Have you ever done that? That's Becky's other famous story, so I figured I'd just bring that up too. Why not go for the hat trick here? So
I know, right? That is a favorite of mine.
It is. Sorry. So seriously, if you wanted to do a fun 50 miler, that would be we'd love to have you run that. So
wait, is it 50? Isn't it more than 50? Well, are we saying it's 50 to get her to do it?
No, it is 50.
It's 50.
It's 50.
What did you get?
It's 56.
No, I got 48, but my watch died, so I missed like a half a mile, I think. But
go back out there and do it again.
It's 50-ish,
It's my favorite course. Like usually if I'm training and I do a 50K, I do on that section. Wow. Like my training 50Ks, I do there.
Yep. So I wanted to ask you, so it's nice that your husband was coming to help you out there and to support you and things like that. And so here at our podcast, like support's an important thing here too, because if we didn't have people handing out water and fuel and different things like that, we'd probably just cramp up and wither away. But luckily, here at the Cultra Trail Running Podcast, we have people who listen, our Patreon supporters, and so there's a lot of ways if you wanted to help the podcast that you could. One of those ways is to tell a friend about our episode. Another way is to if you're interested in giving a monthly donation through Patreon, you could do that too. And so I wondered, and Maria, I hadn't asked you this yet, but I wondered if you might be able to help us out tonight. So are you able to read the screen here by any chance?
Yeah, I think I can zoom it. Yeah.
Okay. I wondered if you could help us out by we'd like to recognize our Patreons, the people who help us out. And I was hoping that you might be able to read some of their names for us. But I know that you're going to say, wait a minute, Art, you're putting me on the spot here. You're making me read these names. I'm having to cite these things. And I have a slight Swedish accent, so I might not say it perfectly. And that's encouraged. Like if you really mess up the names, we actually pay extra for that. So
it's the number one, is that the name?
Yes. Yeah, that is the name there.
Yeah, so however you want to say it is perfect.
Yeah, okay. So you can't mess it up.
Hundo Joe.
That's right. So Hundo, just so you know, Hundo Joe was the guy who ran the 15th. He finished his 15th Bimbler's Bluff.
In a kilt.
In a kilt, yes.
In a kilt, yes.
That's hashtag Hundo Joe.
Go Hundy.
Mm-hmm.
No Hundy Hundy.
So
I was going to say a kilt and nothing else, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, should I continue?
Yes, please do, if you could.
But yeah, here's just a lot of dollar signs, exclamation mark, Albert James Gallatin.
Perfect.
Great.
A Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Osmond.
Either one is good.
Amy Jennifer Hanlon.
Yeah, she was there. She ran really well.
Yeah,
stop interrupting.
I know, until she dropped me. Until she dropped me and then passed gas in front of me. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Really nice.
It's
Amy Jennifer Hanlon.
Yeah.
Hanlon's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Mauer Power.
Yay.
Amy Sorensen. That sounds.
Amy Mauer Power just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Amy.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Amy.
Andy Tidd.
Sort of like Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Angela Rose. Antone de Bettencourt.
Perfect.
Austin Frank. Azam Polatov.
Yep.
Ben Nallet.
Mm-hmm.
Ben 1N. Benjamin Griffin. Berkshire Trailhead. Bessic Hustle.
Yeah, Bessic Hustle was running there too. He passed me too.
Okay. Bikini Chicken. Bill Gibb. Bill Gilpatrick.
Yeah, patriotic Patreon.
Bill Odendahl. Brian Musiak.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to continue? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
This is, if you don't mind, if you have time, are you okay? Or
if you hit the wall, just let us know.
I am getting a little sleepy, but I'll just go through this.
Okay, we're gonna power through it.
Bryce Henley,
Yep.
Celeste Fong.
There you go, Celeste.
Yay.
Yeah. A ding dong.
Sherry Bilby.
Mm-hmm. She was there.
Shuckle, Lately, fucking ship.
Yep.
Okay.
Say it with authority,
Chris,
right?
Chris Rossall.
Mm-hmm.
Christina Chinhing. Clement Scented Chunk. Clarice Reinhardt.
Yep, you might know her.
She just started following me on Strava, and I heard about her from the guys after finishing, because they said, "Oh no, there are girls who's done like really good times on the Bluff. They've been on the 4 hours," and they mentioned her, I think, but no, I'm not sure she had done it, or at least not on the records. So. Yeah, we'll see. Craig Wallace, Crutch Lee, Dan Brehant, David Hoppel.
Oh, that's actually, I have to recognize Dan, because he's a newer guy there. So it's actually it's Dan Braveheart.
Okay.
So it's he'll yell freedom at the start of every run. It never gets old, and he shows up with the blue paint, the whole thing. Just humor him.
Oh wow.
He's a Patreon. We have to play along with it. Just welcome Dan Braveheart. So
David Hoppel, David Hyde, David Kaplan, Ellen Cretella Connell, Ellie Pell.
She's a fast
Emily,
cat.
Yeah. Emily Mayer, Enrique Tello, or Teo, maybe. Franklin Gandiaga.
Yep, he was there.
Okay. Fred Willis. Fuck Arby's. Jeffrey Miller. Heidi Stearns. JJ Duran. Jackie Smith. I can't say his name. Jacques Sarbach.
Jacques Sarbach.
Okay, just Jack.
I should have let you go. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I know. What are you doing, Ar?
I know.
Done so well.
I know.
Jake Patine, Jamie Miller, Jank, Jessica Crandall.
Yes, she was there. Yeah.
She did great.
Second woman.
Yep, she was number 2.
Nice. Jillian Ellefson, Joseph, and the amazing Technicolor Trail Sharks.
And he was there again.
Yeah, he's got
like his
11
or something.
finishes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Joseph Morris Rowe.
Yep.
Justin Kowski.
Yeah, Justin.
He won the whole thing. Yeah.
He did.
One of the few people to
mention
finish
this,
ahead of Marie, right?
He ran that in 4:30 in 4:30.
Yeah.
4:30, 34. That's like a tongue twister, but very good.
Kelsey Eng.
Very good.
Lancelot. Laura Richie Meow.
Yep.
Thorn Edelman.
That's Sophia Loren.
Edelman.
Yep.
Edelman. Law Dog.
And she ran a good race too, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, she did. She did really well.
Yes.
Leanne Sarger.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this. Lemmy's mom.
Yeah. Perfect.
Nacier Macho.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Kelly, Mark Field, Marty Ditcho, Matt Nielsen, Michael Ko.
Oh yeah.
Michael Lopresti, Michelle Pom O'Neill.
Yep.
Microscopic Porcupine.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Reardon, Miles Victor, Monkey Stuffer.
Aw.
Name.
Oh, that's I'm sorry. This is I know you're from Sweden, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
That's Name.
Oh, okay.
Name. So, there you go. So.
Nat Silke, Nicole Carey, Peter Ko, powered by Pop Tarts. Rebecca Gonzalez Kreisberg. Richard runs trails on YouTube, finishes Traveler 100. Rob the Bear Breckenridge. Ron Lucandro.
Ron was at the last aid station. He's so mellow that I ran into the last aid station and I went to leave, but I fell asleep. He just I was just relaxed. It was he actually set me up and gave me the fuel I needed to finish. Gave me every fighting chance.
Ross Belak, Rufus, and Brenda Chaffee 14 Chaffee Chocolatey Chicken.
Yep.
Run the Whites at Midnight. Sandy Bartell.
So Sandy Barbells ran as well.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. Sarah Porritt, Scott Johnson, Simon C. Edgett, him I met also. Slurpee Runner, Deep Endurance, Ty, 10 Junk Miles is hot like your mom. The Blue Hills Contingent, the Lazarus Crew, Tom Starodive, Tony Bonamo.
Okay, so I got to interrupt here again.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna
as
kill
I
her.
do. No, Tony Bonano.
There.
Tony Bonano. I think he broke two fingers. He had bones sticking out everywhere.
What?
Yeah.
No,
yes.
He just dislocated.
No, he
his
dislocated
fingers.
a finger or something.
But
oh my god, he's like a little train wreck. That
and
one.
he
Remember
finished.
He hit his head on the car at that run that we did in Colchester.
Finish.
I thought he finished.
He did very well. He ran like a 6:24, which was that was pretty awesome. So beating and so he's like almost as old as I am. So he's the only one who finished before me that's even close to my age. So
and he was like only about an hour and 10 minutes behind Marie, just for reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
good run.
Right there. That's like a rounding error.
Yeah.
Like she went around the course and we could have beat her if we didn't.
Right. Exactly. Rounding.
Okay.
Okay, continuing.
Sorry.
Tony Domicio, Tonix Jamie McCusker, Ultra Walker, Walt Hammer, William Jara, Z Me Cook, just in the rear.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Marie, thank you so much for being such a good sport with that. Really appreciate that. And we want to thank all of our Patreons as well for all the support that they've given us, for 261 episodes so far. And we still haven't had to sell out to the man, meaning like Canadian Trail Fishing Magazine, Trail Spanx, or Booger Nutrition. All of them have been dying to really sponsor us. Okay, so Trail Spanx did, and we've lost that. But besides that, we've managed to get, we've managed to keep this plane in the air without taking on water. So
I have a lead though on Sriracha Vaseline. I think that they might be able to. It's the hottest lube going right now.
Really?
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I got to talk to the people.
Okay. This is good to know. Fred, get us some details for next episode. Okay?
All right.
That would be definitely good to know. We need to know these things. So I know that we still haven't talked about ABBA. We haven't talked about Ingrid Bergman, the Nobel Prize, Annika Sorensen, Greta Thunberg. We talked about IKEA a little bit, and
NATO. We haven't talked about NATO.
We haven't talked about NATO. So go ahead, Fred. You're on.
Well, I hear that Sweden's going to join NATO. That's what's happening. Okay. Turkey just agreed that because they were kind of like they weren't so sure, but now I think Turkey's on board.
If it's good for Finland, it's good for right?
Sweden and Finland. Yeah. Sweden has a very interesting and unique defense force. So actually it bolsters NATO a lot if they join.
Can I just say something? Poor Marie has to get up in like an hour.
I know. We're tormenting her now.
I know. We need to let her go to sleep.
Wow. Right.
Somebody's got to be the adult in the room.
I know. And if for 10 seconds
it's not going to be me,
so be it.
Rarely it's Becky, but here she is.
I think this is surprising. This is
I know.
I think really we have to pay attention.
I know.
Mark this on your calendars, kids.
This is a course record.
So Marie, I know that we have to kind of wind down with Fred a little bit here. But I know that you have to that you have some other things that you need to get to as well. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. And you make good choices and you make bad choices, and and there was tonight. So hopefully things we really do appreciate this, and it was great to get to know you better here. I'm sure that our listeners are wondering, who the heck is this person that took down everybody by an hour and at her first shot out there. So that's great. And now I guess now they know. So
now we know.
Yeah. Yep.
So
so thank you. And I hope to see you at a race, at least at the starting line again.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to watch.
Brooksville Turkey Trot.
Yeah. Yes, you should definitely do that.
Oh, is that what it's called? The Turkey Trot?
Yes. Yeah. And it's with Live Loud Running. I'll send you a link to it. We'll have a link to it in our show notes as well.
Okay.
That, or if you want to do the Saturday before Thanksgiving in Manchester, Connecticut, there's a road race on the Manchester Road Race course. It's called Know Your Pace Race. And that you run without a watch or without any timing at all. You run the Manchester Road Race course, and whoever gets closest to the predicted time wins the race. It's not to the fastest, but it's to who you tell them how fast you're going to run. And if you're within a second or two of what you say, you stand a good chance of winning. So, and it's $5 for the race, or a baked good. Part. It is, or a baked good. It can be even baked beans. We've had people bring baked beans. So, you can do that. So,
well, thank you, Marie.
No, thank you,
Marie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marie.
Yeah.
Very impressive
Bye-bye.
race. Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you.
Yep. Have a great night.
Thanks
now.
again.
Okay. Yep. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe she ran that fast. I mean, I can't.
So impressive.
It was. That was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
wow.
And she's very nice too, which is
smart.
Which is nice. Like she could have been like, she could have said something to like upset my ego or something. Said, you did what? Were you really running the same course?
Were we in the same race?
Why didn't you
how long?
Why didn't you run? You're allowed to run, Art.
Did you get lost?
Yeah, and you didn't get lost.
So how was not that it was that long ago, I should be able to remember, but no, it was good. The weather on Sunday, it was a great day.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The weather was lovely.
Yeah.
Wait, if only Celeste, did you run?
No, I was at the start and then I went to the first aid station. It was my husband's birthday was Monday, so I had to go home and family lunch and escape room and
then she had to drive by us and wave to us.
Yeah. Oh my God, they were stalking me. They were in my neighborhood.
Ultra Walker and I walked right through her neighborhood.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, not by her house. It was kind of like when we stalked Tony Banana and we walked through his neighborhood. We walked through Celeste's neighborhood. And Andy was like, I'm going to text Celeste and tell her we're in her neighborhood. So we did.
That'd be fun if we were like, Celeste, look out your window. And they said it as a joke, not really knowing where your house was. And you looked and you really did see them. That would be really creepy.
We were pretty close.
You guys were very close to my house. Right.
I thought I had a friend of Celeste sighting on Saturday, and it was really funny. So Saturday I did a 5K, which I don't like. But
this. What was the name of the 5K?
Not much to tell.
What was
it was the Come On Over 5K in Portland.
Over the bridge.
Over the bridge. So that bridge is so fun.
So why don't you come up and see me sometime?
We don't run over it though. But would you say?
I said it's the one. Why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Yes.
Why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Well, it's really funny. Growing up, I didn't realize that to me, that was the Portland Bridge. And if you grew up on the other side of the river, it's the Middletown Bridge, but it's really the Aragoni Bridge.
Yeah. I thought it was the Glastonbury Bridge.
No. Nope.
Well, so I did this run. I did it with my boys. They ran ahead of me and I did sort of a run. I don't really know what you call what I did, but, and afterwards I was, walking to my car and there was, this small group of people and it was so cute because they were all just like standing around talking, having drinks and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, it's a spirit. And they were so friendly. And I just right away, I thought that they were your group of friends, Celeste, that came to the race. And I was like, I know you. And they were like, you kind of look familiar too. And I'm like, you guys are friends with Celeste, aren't you? And they're like, Celeste too. And I was like, well, forget about it. I just,
you don't know.
Celeste who?
My face. But the funny thing is when they said Celeste who, like literally my face was like I don't know. It was like, I had this look like, what?
What bitch?
Like if someone's like, wow, do you know where Barack is? And some Barack who? Barack Obama. Like, same thing. Celeste Wong, Barack Obama. But I just felt bad because the expression on my face was like, and then I'm like, oh, and then I go like this. I said, oh, then you don't know her. And they're like, oh, do you?
Hey, if you know, you know.
I don't. Then I said Celeste Fong, and then they said, does she have a husband named Mike?
Mark.
And I said, no, I don't think so. Oh, Mark. Well, they're in different towns, so I don't think that they know.
That's my brother-in-law, and he's a teacher in town, so most parents know. Yeah.
But it was just very funny because I was like, you must know. So whenever they Celeste who, I was like, what? Celeste who? Come on. So, but
I think it's a big obnoxious mouth.
No, because the group, honestly, it was that this group, there was like 5 of them and they were so cute and they were having such a fun time. Like they were just like kind of standing outside their car and all chit-chatting, having a little drink and stuff. And it just right away reminded me of the group of friends that did not feel. And those look like Celeste peeps. So, but alas, it was not. So,
half that group is going with me. So my friends,
hamster wheel.
So Ashley and Liz are trying for the first 100K.
Wow.
So
Nice.
I know. So I have I have pacers for the first 100K
and then they're gonna be like, see ya.
No. Yeah, and then they're gonna be in pajamas laughing at me. But then like JJ's gonna be there, and Lauren's coming, and Jillian are all to come for like me and Jackie, and it's gonna be great.
So fun. I'm gonna see Jack Eye this weekend.
Yeah, Jack Eye's trying to do 100-miler there too.
Yes,
right?
she's going to be there doing 100. Yeah. So we're going to set up just like last year. We're going to set up a tent city. I ordered some banners.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully they should be here at the end of the month. And then I had some little signs, like the political signs made because they're cheap.
We also had some political messages.
Yeah, vote for Cultra on them. Yeah, vote for Cultra.
Cultra platform.
Yeah.
Cultra. Oh, yeah. So we'll have like Cultra Tent City going on, and it'll be a really fun time.
Marolo, and Byram.
Yeah. Now that's the ticket.
What ultra running needs.
Yes.
Or evil ding dong fucking Merle streakers. Oh my god.
That'd be great.
Well, I'm sad that I won't see you, although we'll be at our.
But you'll be happy because you're going to be where?
I know, because I'm going to be at Stone Cat. Although,
with who?
I know, with the Fast Cat. I'm not. I can't even say I'm going to be with that Fast Cat. I'm going to be, and I'm not going to be with you though. I would like to say I'd be with Art and Tony B and Amaya Sorensen, but my running has been so minimal that you guys are gonna. You're going to be like done, changed, napped, went out to get some food, come back, and I'm going to be still like.
No,
you guys, a long time since I've showed up.
You're going to have to be sending me messages so that I don't fall asleep. That's what you're going to have to do.
You know how this shit happened? You know what just happened, Fred?
What was that?
What?
I just lost like any plausible deniability for sandbagging myself. She already she just like. It's like, what do you call? It's like, I'm
preemptive sandbagging. Oh,
yeah. I mean,
I'm barely in the race, you guys.
I'm not an expert. I mean, I'm just a normal family man here, but I'm just like a normal. This is how I see the world. I'm just a poor little runner. I've never done this before, and I'm
worried that you guys are going to be like done, and you're going to be like, for the love of Christmas, we are just going to go pick you up, put you over our shoulder, and just run back with you because it's taking you so long.
I mean, would that be the worst thing that ever happened to you?
I'm just saying that I'm dropping the hammer and doing it in 7 hours for the first 3 laps.
You are. You're like, no, I'm not. She's going to her secret evil training camp.
Little did you know, I was pacing Marie up until the last 5 miles. I was passing her up until the last 23K.
Yeah,
so that's what the problem was. Is I paced her for the first part, and then I dropped her. So it's not even like I dropped out. I dropped her, ran ahead, caught up to Justin, said hi to him, and then just left.
And didn't bother to finish the line just because. Oh. You Odendalled it at the end.
Yeah.
It's just like,
she didn't have to show off, Art. She knew what she was
you know what? It was tolerable.
Yeah. That's right. I'm going to just sit here and eat. I'm just going to sit here and, eat these Swedish fish. So.
I had a Swedish fish Rita's thingy, and I thought of you from remember when we got them when we did the out and whatever,
the double cut?
The double cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we got you the Swedish fish one, and we got another one too. Those were good. Those were actually quite delicious. That was
great.
That was around the same time that you bought everything in the Sunoco next door.
I sold it out. It was on sale.
The old bugles.
Yeah, the old bugles.
Those bugles were from F Troop.
They probably were.
I believe the bag was dusty.
F Troop playing that shit.
I do think when you brought them out, unless I'm confusing it with another time that you brought an excessive amount of food, because I feel like I've been with you many times when you've gone into a gas station claiming to like, I'm going to get something to eat, and you come out with like a grocery bag full of food. and nowhere to store it. So everybody else is like carrying it. So maybe it was a different time, but I could have sworn it was that time that you brought those chocolate bugles out and that the bag had dust on the top. And then I was like,
It's never a good sign.
It's not a good sign when there's
given the
there's
quality of
dust
the
on
chocolate
top.
bugles, they could have been a couple of years old, probably.
Yeah.
They had a patina on them. Yeah, the bugles. So I got to ask now, Fred.
Yes.
You've run 100-milers before, right?
On occasion. Yes, I have.
Have you counted how many you've done at this point?
I was thinking about it the other day, and I think it's around. It depends how you define them.
Is it? Oh, we're not counting lovers here, Fred. So there's no definition. It's either 100 miles or it's like
there's 50 ways to count your.
I was just thinking that song.
Yeah, no, like if you're talking about like races in which I've gone over 100 miles or races that were designed to be 100 miles. Say,
snap! Or anytime you've done around 100 or more.
Probably about 55 to 60, something like that.
Holy shit.
And I did another one.
Did you say 55 or 60?
55 to 60, yeah.
Oh.
That's insane.
Okay, cool.
And you just did one a couple weeks ago.
That's what we want to hear. That's where I'm going with this. I wasn't just being like, I wasn't just showing off like, hey, Dad, tell him who you beat up.
But while we're on the subject, hey Dad, who did you beat up?
Yeah.
Last year I did Tesla Hertz, which is a trail race in Long Island, super challenging, but in Long Island, and I like that race, and I think that RD is great.
They are wonderful.
Oh, and his wife Nicole, yeah.
I was going to ask if I should run it. I was going to ask.
You should definitely run it. Yeah, it's a good race.
Oh, I was going to ask the Magic 8 Ball. Is that a bad thing? Should I run it next year?
Yeah, do that?
Yes.
Should I run it next year? Better not tell you now.
That's actually
that fucking 8 Ball is so smart, right? It knows.
Actually, I think Reagan's looking into the 150 there. She is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to run that, but I really was like, my legs have not been that great. So I thought like, okay, I'll go in a 48-hour race and try to do over 100 miles. And I did get a little over 100. But what I wanted to mention about that race, first of all, it was really nice. It's in Hainesport, New Jersey. I recommend it. But I did it with my friend Gary Ferguson, who's really competitive. He we set up our tents together and stuff like that. And he was like, here, you sit there for a little while. You look tired, and then he snuck in a couple of laps. So he was always 2 laps ahead of me. So and then when we were finishing, he ran with me the whole time. So I couldn't catch him. Right. But, the thing that I really wanted to say was there was a guy with us who is named Doyle Carpenter. Doyle is such a badass. He's 84 years old.
Oh,
he won Vol State 3 times back in the 1980s, right? And now he's still out there running. He did like 109 miles in the 48-hour. And
wow.
I think 2 years ago.
Did you say 85?
84. And I think 2 years or 3 years ago, he did like 145 miles in 48 hours. He's just unbelievable. He's like still out there doing it. And an inspiration to someone like me who's getting older and like thinking like, oh, how many more times am I going to be able to do this? Like, 20, keep going. Yeah.
God, I think that all the time.
Oh, my wife likes to remind me. I was like, I'm going to do a couple like next year. She's like, Fred, you're getting a little older,
Wow.
But I should also mention a couple other things that are going on. Law Dog and Oak finished the Mines of Spain in Iowa last weekend.
Is that like the Mines of Moria?
Well, here's what I said to them. I'm like, I'm having trouble with the Mines of Spain because it doesn't take place in Spain and it's not run in mines. So like, where does the name come from? Come on.
Maybe it's the mines.
You bring up an excellent point, Fred.
Yeah. No mines, no Spain.
Were there any mimes?
No,
like
there weren't
mimes. With the hands and the
like I'm in a
whole
box.
Face clowns shit going on.
No.
Stuck in a box.
Yeah. No. But congratulations to Law Dog and Oak, who both finished that race.
Yay.
And
very good.
One more thing. Right now, as we speak, it'll be over by the time you hear this, but as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
Laz's Big's Backyard World Championship is going on. They are over 84 hours into it. There's still 11 people going.
How many are still in it?
11.
Wow.
That means they've gone over 350 miles in 3.5 days. And
Wow.
they have to do over like
how much do these 11
4.17
people hate each other?
So much.
Seriously, aren't they
really,
all like, you better step on a nail right now,
and
this is your eye.
Someone needs to be,
Laz is the one who started this, and this course in the daylight, it's on a trail in his backyard, like this circuitous trail. That's not easy. And then at night, he has it go out on the road, and it's just an out and back because he doesn't want the people to have excuses like, "Oh, I couldn't see the trail at night." So he's so sinister. I mean, really, So
I like that.
Past winners are like, Courtney DeWalter won it 1 year.
Megatron.
Yes, yeah. Maggie won. Maggie won. A couple other people who are like household names. I think Harvey Lewis won it. I think he might have. He's in it right now.
He's in it now. I saw
years ago. Yeah.
That's 11 people still.
I know, it's ridiculous, Celeste.
That's a lot.
Yes.
How many people start?
75 started, but there are 11
and
left
there's
after
11
days.
Could I say
something? How many
something?
people started?
75.
Oh, do you know the first person that stopped, or actually not even the first, because at least if you're the first, you're like, ooh, I'm the first one. But the second person that had to stop was probably like, wah, wah. All right, sorry. Now you can say something.
Yeah. So, well, now I forgot. Great. Thanks. No, they
11 out of 75.
Yeah, I did. Now I really did forget. Oh my God.
I mean, but that's maintaining, right?
These people had to all qualify. They had to win other races around the world and do over like 36 hours. So they couldn't just be like, any schlub who got in on a
but
like
36 hours, 3 days, a lot longer.
Yeah,
they didn't.
Right?
They didn't do the Hop and Hodges.
3.5 now.
Yeah. No, they can't do that. The Hop and Hodges.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So anyway,
so if you think about it, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's my two hot takes on this. Number one is just a 2-word response to it all that kind of explains it. Super shoes. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, wasn't it like Dean Karnazes and why do I want to say Anne Rice? It wasn't Anne Rice.
No.
What's her name? The lady.
Oh, right, her.
In the sun, running on the sun.
Pam.
Oh my God.
Pam Smith.
Pam Reed.
Pam Smith. Thank you. She's not a vampire. Pam Smith. Wasn't Dean Karnazes saying, I'm going to run 300 miles in one shot in like 2 weeks from now? Like, wasn't that going to be like the superhuman thing?
Yeah. He claimed to hold the record for the longest run without sleeping, like 284 miles. Somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah. I know.
But then I thought that Pam
outdid that.
Pam from Twilight. I think that she said, "Oh, I'll do it like tomorrow or something," and she went and did I thought she went and did 300 miles,
awesome.
and that was considered like over the top. But now that's all on its ear, because like if you're running bigs, you're not sleeping.
Micro sleeps
significantly.
Most, yeah.
Like
you've got like 4 minutes at a time.
Yeah, because you're not.
You have to be in the starting corral at top of every hour, and you have to.
Oh, that's a question I have to ask. Can people? I thought of this. All right, say I'm doing the race, right, and I get there just in time, right. I get across the line, and then I walk back to the starting line, and I'm standing in the starting line. Can I, if I'm back in the starting line and I cross the starting line, can I stop then and just sit for 10 minutes and then there's my 10 minutes? Like, do people do that, or you have to leave? You
don't have to leave, but you can't get aid. You're on the course and there's no aid on the course, so you could so you can't put like your aid after the starting line and just be like, nope, no, it's very. So you have to get your aid before the hour turns. The whistle go, or the bell rings, I guess, and the next hour starts, and you have to leave the starting corral, and you cannot get aid until you come
So if I
the way
leave
back
the
in.
starting corral, go 2 feet, lay down on the ground for 10 minutes,
Like
without anybody with my mouth opened, and it's raining, I could be okay to sleep for 10 minutes and get in some fluids.
Yeah,
But then you got to get up and run.
Then you
as
got
a
to
follow-up,
Yes.
as a follow-up question to Becky's comment there. So you're saying that every hour on the hour, the train leaves the station, right? So let's say that if you're not allowed to take aid, are you allowed to leave things? Like if the train leaves the station?
That's what I was trying to ask.
You can't throw stuff on the course like, oh, I'm going to throw this.
I meant
Hershey
like
bar
if
down
you wanted
and
to
pick it
like
up.
drop like 2 things. Like
He wants to know if you can go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Oh, I didn't get that part.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's no
You do
prohibition
that.
in crapping in Laz's property. I think you're allowed to do
That would be kind of cool, though, to be like, hey, guess what I did?
Right?
That guy Laz that does
I marked
Barclays.
I'm a
I've
dog.
marked it.
I marked the
his
big dog's
territory.
territory. Yeah.
And that
I
is
do
what she
mark
said.
every trail I go on. I am like a dog that way.
Yeah.
Like a dog.
I've had 3 kids, okay?
Yeah.
So there were so many questions that I didn't get to, like, I have to like now like admit. So after I started, because I was like, we're gonna have Marie on, and like I don't know anything about her, and then I just started like checking everything out, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing, because it's cool, somebody from Sweden, right? And then somebody who's like knows about nuclear shit, and then somebody's fast, and then all this stuff. And then I just so I started looking into different things, and I also found I have this question for you. So why did the ultra runner nuclear engineer bring a Geiger counter to the race?
Why?
Because she knew that maintaining the right pace was just like regulating a nuclear reactor. It's all about achieving critical mass and avoiding a meltdown on the trails. Now, I'm glad that I didn't tell her that, because that would have I would have embarrassed myself with that, right?
Yes.
You think?
I think you're embarrassing yourself right now, but
yeah. Well,
it's your podcast.
No,
I mean, we support it.
I didn't say that.
Yes.
I'm just like saying I could. That's something
But
I
you're
could have
driving the
said.
car right now. We're not even in the vehicle.
Yep,
We're on the
that I
outside.
didn't
we just got
do.
out of the car. You're on
I
your own,
didn't
buddy.
do that. I didn't say that. I could have said that, but I didn't.
Okay,
That was
good.
one of the things I didn't.
Oh, is there one more thing I can say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jenny Hoffman, former guest, is approaching Ohio now. She's in Indiana. She's doing like 100K a day.
It is crazy to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
Wow.
And she's pretty raw. She like has a pretty full recap every day, and she's pretty raw about it. She's like, I was crying, I was yelling at my crew, I was a complete baby, that kind of stuff. So she's really pretty candid about how she feels about it. She's experiencing all the emotions, and
that's like me at mile 10. So
well, she makes it sound like she's like doing terrible. Like, like my leg was so sore I could barely move. I only did 60 miles that day. I'm like, all right, okay, yeah.
I like her. I really liked having her on the show that day. Like,
she was an amazing guest.
She was.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, man, we're so much alike, and then you're like, oh wait, no, we're not.
No, we're not. No.
You're just who I want to be.
You have a Wikipedia page on your original physics research. I don't have that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, because she's like a Harvard professor, right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Wow.
A tenured Harvard professor, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's
and
something.
to think I'm just a Harvard professor. I mean, who knows when I'll get a tenure,
Yeah, there you go. You might not even get tenure. Wow.
I might not.
Yeah.
But
we can only hope, Beck.
We can.
We'll see what happens.
I've only run a 5:30 at Bimblers.
I know, like even that, like
it's not
even
like you ran like a 7 hour. I mean, who does that?
My bragging shit was like still like more than an hour, more than an hour off of her time on a faster course that I was on,
Well, and she's like, I
she must have good,
she must
have good parents though, because like I hardly train. I usually don't even get up to 50K in a week.
Oh,
you've never done a marathon.
Yeah, never done. Yeah.
She didn't do a marathon, right?
No.
Yeah.
She said the most she's ever done is a 30K.
30K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the advantage right there. Okay. Like, what you don't know can't hurt you. Duh. And like, I know that every time somewhere between 20 and 26 miles, I'm going to run into trouble, right? You guys all know that.
It's going to hurt
Everybody
you.
knows that.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know that about herself because she hasn't had to deal with that. So she doesn't have that problem. So, God, I wish I wasn't running. Then I could run a lot better, right?
Right. If you'd never run, think how good you could be. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
And Ultra Walker and I did like 15 miles on Sunday, and he informed me that he has now walked approximately 1/6 of all the miles of road in Connecticut, I think. And
That's insane.
I know. And he's been within 2.5 miles of every point in the state. So wherever you are in Connecticut, he's run or walked within 2.5 miles of that point.
Yeah, I just call him a stalker then.
He's been a lot closer to my house than that.
Dun, dun, dun.
2.5 miles, huh?
Yes, the whole state. 5,000 square miles. He's coming up on 2.5 years that he's been doing this project.
Oh, I knew it wasn't by accident. Okay.
So, no, nothing's by accident with Andy. He's very, he's got.
It's like, he's treating the whole state like his giant personal fucking Ouija board.
Yes. And you know what?
If you
eventually,
different letters all over,
I bet roads probably. It'll be all of them.
You could ask him a question like the magic 8-ball, and he'd probably answer it just by wandering. If we put a grid of letters on the state, he would just like walk into one and just pause for a moment. Oh, that's his letter, for the day. I'm going to do that. And then go back and trace it and see. There's a secret message. There's no accidents. This is like 12 monkeys.
I wonder what place he is on City Strides.
Oh, I believe he is like 120th in the world.
Probably 112.
Really?
Yeah.
It's definitely
could be 112. It could be. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
that's impressive.
Hey, we got to also talk about our buddy Shan Riggs too.
Oh yeah,
he's on tomorrow's his last day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he said tomorrow's last day.
250 or more miles a week. For a while now, off on the West Coast there, right?
Yeah, I saw it. There's this
he's almost done.
There's this bootleg podcast out of the Midwest. I don't know. It's called like 5 Junk Miles or something. And I saw they have a Strava team, and Shan was number 1 on the Strava team last week with 257.
Just a second. We have our own fucking Strava team here.
Is Sean on our? Is he? Yeah,
Shan's number 1 on our thing. Yes,
that's great.
Actually, it fucks really up the whole graph.
I think you should put everybody who's on the other team on our team too. We should just have them all. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this week, and Shan has 79 miles so far this week. Andy Cable has 22. Justin Kowski has 21. And that's after destroying,
Bimblers.
Destroying Bimblers.
Yeah, but I think Shan said he was done. Isn't tomorrow the last day?
I think so, yes.
I think it is. Yes. So he won't have much more.
Oh, no, he said today was the last day.
Oh.
ACA Pacific Coast finish. 56 days, 9 hours, 2 minutes.
I should have known that.
We should have known that.
I think it just came up on Strava.
I think you just didn't know.
And reporting live.
Why didn't you know?
All the news you need to hear 4 days later. But listen, if you actually were stalking us, like the only one who really got the latest here is Ultra Walker, because he's outside of one of our windows right now.
Absolutely.
The calls are coming from in the house, so he knows. He heard it here first.
The calls are coming from a 10-foot circle radius around the side of the house.
That's right. You but can't prove where it's coming from, and it seems to be moving all over the state. Wow. Is he allergic to driving?
Maybe that's it.
I mean, we know Shan used to eat cars for breakfast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember Shan Riggs runs Bigs.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, back in the day.
I know. So, Fred, do you have any? I know you just did a race, and I know Celeste has a race coming. Art has a race coming up. I have a race coming up. Do you have any other races coming up?
I am signed up for Ancient Oaks again, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to run 100 miles on a trail. We'll see. See how the training goes.
Again?
When is it?
Weekend before Christmas. So like December 17th. Yeah.
Oh, it's Florida.
Yeah, it's on a 3.5 mile loop.
Oh.
But it's
and you said it's
dirt
trail?
and roots. Yeah, it's all trail.
And sand?
Sand, lots of sand. There's a sandy section. There's a dirt section.
Fast.
There are feral hogs that dig it up at night, stuff. So you got like these potholes.
Is it really?
And stuff. Yeah.
Feral hogs?
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
That's an amazing story. If you were like, listen, I didn't get to finish. Someone's like, why would happen? I got attacked by a feral hog.
I've seen them in the night there. I've done it 8 times.
And the great thing is that they're feral. I mean, to be like, I got attacked by a hog.
Okay.
Like, yeah. But really, when would you just be, I got attacked by a hog, but don't worry, it was a domesticated hog. It just left.
I slipped into the hog pen. Right.
Hold on here. Hold on. So I got a question here. Let's go by a show of hands. How many people have seen a pig on a run?
Ever?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm one down the road.
Okay, good. How many people have ever seen a feral pig, like where you're like, hey, this thing isn't in a pen?
It's rooting around on a course in the night.
True.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So,
unless I had a mirror, maybe. But
I was going to say, unless it was like late in the race when you were seing things, and you're like, look at that feral pig.
Like the fox.
Does a selfie count?
Yeah.
Like the fox you went to pet.
I've been dressing up as a fox. My friend had knee surgery, so she's like, will you walk a race with me and we could dress up? So I'm going to be like Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog, and she's going to be Sonic. And
that sounds great. That's good.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah.
And did you guys you saw my Halloween costume?
You're so cute.
Hold
on, what it was? My Halloween costume. I sent it to you. Did I not
see this?
I sent it in Messenger. How can you not know? I mean, I send stuff in Messenger all the time. I'm on it all the time. That's what she's
constantly.
You are not. Oh my God.
How is it?
Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God.
Do you know who we are?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yay. It was very fun.
Oh God. Mr. White.
Yes, I'll send another one.
Oh my God. That's great.
I try.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's nice to be a kid sometimes.
That is great.
I mean,
I even did my eye makeup.
You did? It looks good. I wore a tutu just to go to Bimbler's Bluff. So
at first I thought you were Eminem.
No.
But then I definitely knew.
Where's the other? What am I doing?
We don't know.
I have like another picture here, like clicked, and I don't know what it is. So I may be sending you something. Oh no, you don't want me to send that
again.
All right.
Did I ever tell you about that one? I took a selfie joking around. Oh my God, you're so cute. And I had taken a picture. I was carrying applesauce in my bra on a loop.
Natural.
Right. And I took a picture joking around, and I sent it by accident to like a group of people I didn't know that I was in a chat with.
At church?
Like a picture like down my, oh my God, it was so embarrassing.
Oh, you mean you like poured applesauce down your...
No. It was applesauce packet. Because I was going out on a loop. So I had just stuck it in my bra to have it because I had a drink too or whatever,
You know, the bra purse.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Ark. Come on.
The bra.
Don't tell me you don't use the bra purse because it works. And then I took a picture because it looked really funny. And then I sent it to the wrong group. Yeah.
Your parents and their friends or something? Like, hi, Mom and Dad here. Yeah.
Look, Mom. Yeah.
Look,
They're
I'm
kind of
so
used
proud.
Wow.
to me. Yeah.
Well, guys,
Tonight was fun.
it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So we're getting ready for a Stone Cat, right?
Meow.
Yep. Meow.
That's going to be awesome. And
Yes.
the only thing, my only regret is that I have but one race to run.
Yeah.
But I have not yet begun to run. That's my Nathan Hale.
That's your Nathan Hale racing. Right?
Yeah, I only have one race to run for my Cultra. So
Oh, very good.
Oh.
Now you're really
Nice.
tying
It
it all together.
is.
But that's going to be, I think that's going to be cool. Yeah, we're going to see Patrick Caron there, I would suppose, right? He's the RD.
We better.
He's going to be there, right? So I've never met him. Have you guys met him or no?
No.
Not like face to face.
Yeah. We'll let him he can take
Like
a
in your
picture with us, I
dreams?
suppose, right?
Yes.
We'll let him take a picture with us, right? If he wants.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Maybe. I don't know.
You know.
Are you
yeah.
cool enough?
We'll see how the day goes.
We'll
Yeah.
see. Okay. All right.
We'll see where the night takes us.
Yes. So, go into it with an open mind.
Yes. Don't want to lock anything in here. Yeah.
Hey, you know,
exactly.
it's going to be starting it starts at like what? Like
5.
3 o'clock in the morning or something? Or
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you
that
know
sounds
for like the
heaven.
last 2
starts-
days? Heaven? No.
Yes.
that's
Well, I
Love to
have to
start it
remind myself I
before the
used to
crack of
run
dawn.
really early, but I've just gotten up the last couple nights I've gotten up like really early to like either like let the dog out or go to the bathroom or something. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so cold. It's so dark. And then I'm like, oh, you're going to be running in this in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Do you know
I
what
should-
time I woke up this morning?
No, run.
12:02.
Oh,
That's what I
technically
mean,
this
woke
morning
up?
at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
That you were up for the day at 12.
Yep.
So you were up like you didn't go back to bed.
I mean, I stayed in bed and read for like 3 hours and then I got out of bed. But yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
I was up at 3 o'clock. And I had a dream. I had a dream that I was
Oh, this is going to be good.
yeah, that I was at a casino and then I walked out of and I was
And I
with my
won
wife.
$112.
Yeah. No, that happened, Fred. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was at a
It probably
casino.
did.
I was at a
It did.
casino with Peggy, and we walked out of the elevator. The elevator, and
Dun, dun, dun.
she walked into the crowd, and then I went to try to find her, and it was
Oh,
like
she
all
left
blonde
you.
women, and I was like,
Who
and
are
I'm walking
you?
around, and then I go up to this random blonde woman, and I say, "Fucking blondes! There's so many of them. How am I supposed to find my wife here?" And so then I started playing pool with her, and then Peggy walked up and found us, and then the other girl hugged her, and then I can't tell you what
That's
happened
really-
after
Really weird.
that.
Oh, man.
That's really, really weird.
So I don't know, like if you
Yeah.
want to tell if anybody wants to try to tell us what that was about, just DM me.
Oh,
Slip
no.
in my
You should really
DMs here.
call Dog Gent and
Yeah.
explain to Art what that dream meant.
Interpret our dreams, and if
In-
whoever gives the
In song, you have to
Yeah.
do it. Right?
Yeah.
whoever
Oh,
gives
you
the
know who's
best
going to come up with a good one then is, especially when you said in song, is Tolerable Bill.
yeah.
It's going to
Probably.
be like the non-tolerable thing about him. It's going to be beyond tolerable. It's going to be phenomenal.
So if anybody can come up with a good explanation of that, just call up and call 203 Dog Gent. You don't even have to sing it. You can do it like a Johnny Cash. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or
Wow,
later
that
it's
seems like a
gonna
great
cut you
idea to do it
down.
that way.
So you can sing it like that if you want, or you can like sing it instead of like that, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. That's probably enough, right?
Yeah, I
Good.
think, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
That's perfection.
All right. Any closing arguments? All in favor?
I
Yeah. So if you've made it this far, everyone, please
Yes.
seek Swedish help. And
Yes.
we'll see you all in a mile.
Mile and
a half.
All right.
What did you do?
What happened?
I don't know. Wow.
We never even discussed Swedish massage. We never that was like a whole topic we left.
I think we were going to set her over the edge by that point.
2 other words. Okay, before you let, I know it's quarter to midnight. But okay, one last thing. Swedish meatballs. Fuck, we left that on the table too.
So good.
We left those Swedish meatballs sitting on the table.
And Swedish meatballs from IKEA.
From IKEA.
Yeah.
Oh,
we didn't talk about
those things.
Ingrid Bergman.
I mean, listen, this was a DNF.
It was a DNF. We had so many things.
Yeah.
Poor woman, though. It was like 2:00 in the morning Swedish time when we let her go finally, right? So
no,
I mean,
it was
probably still sitting there holding her phone, like.
Yeah.
We were kind of like the narwhal stuck in the middle of the krill patch. You know, the krill pod, where the krill are just, there's a whole school of krill.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They're like shrimp. Krill are what whales eat for the most part.
And what's
they have more biomass.
A narwhal.
Narwhal?
They have more biomass than the entire human population. Yeah. If you took all the unicorn and put them together in a big pile, if we had a big pile up of people, and then you took all the krill and they had a big pile up, the krill would be more than us.
Aren't the krill from Finding Nemo where they're like, swim away?
Yeah. I think
krill, literally many. Yeah, they're like little shrimp.
That's right when the whale comes up, because usually narwhals don't eat those, but we're talking about narwhal. Narwhal.
Narwhal.
We're talking about Sweden, not even Norway.
Sweden whales.
Sweden whales. So I don't know.
I wonder how she feels about the Swedish chef and
I have a great idea.
Street, Swedish volleyball.
I think even though we got off the phone with her an hour ago and she was super tired, I think it would be more than appropriate to just call her
back. Wait. We have more questions.
Cultra's on the line. We're not done with you.
We'll message her. We'll be like 112 112. It's an emergency. Call us back. She answers. Now, what do you think about IKEA Swedish meatballs versus regular meatballs? Where do you weigh in on that?
Hold it. So if IKEA sells Swedish fish, is that redundant?
I read somewhere that the Swedish meatballs that IKEA sells were not from Sweden. That they were sourced domestically.
They're creepy balls.
They're creepy balls. Okay.
They're sweaty balls.
Yeah. Shreddy. Yeah.
They probably are sitting in those Swedish ball juices. Gross. I realize it was gross as I was saying it.
I mean, that's going to be what I ask people at Hamster Wheel. How do you feel about Swedish meatballs sitting in their own ball juice?
So
after enough hours, that'll just come out.
Here's the thing.
It will.
I think you totally should at a random time, but just go up to people and just be completely serious and be like, I just want to ask what are your thoughts and philosophies on this?
2 words for you, my boy. 2 words. Swedish meatballs. That's 3 words.
Did anybody think I'm just now going off the track again, but one last thing, then I'll go. Was it just me, or when we first saw, well, maybe not you, Art, because you saw her before, but when I first saw Marie, I was like, oh my God, it's Ann Trazen. Didn't she look like Ann Trazen?
No, I didn't feel that way.
I mean, actually, I was like, oh, so I'm like, wait, I know her. And it took me a second to be like, where do I know you from? And then I was like, I don't know you, but I think I know you.
Because I know Ann Trazen.
Right. Yes. because I met her. She's
Yeah,
the
me too.
nicest person
Yeah.
ever.
I'm going to put a
Ever.
picture of Ann Trayson next to her. But before we forget, and then we can decide. But here's the big question is that we're going to put something up on, maybe Celeste, if you could do this, post something to our Facebook group that says, and we're going to put this out right after the episode drops. Okay. Like in 8 days or so. We're gonna post something up that says, what's your favorite trail aid station food? Okay. And then anybody who gives everybody's going to say, oh,
the appropriate answer.
I like potato chips. Oh, I like, burritos or whatever, breakfast burritos or whatever, blah, 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 lobster. Anybody who says Swedish fish, they're going to win.
Okay.
Or Swedish meatballs.
Or Swedish
I mean,
meatballs.
Swedish meatballs. Right. That's what I meant. Sorry, time out. Swedish meatballs. That's what I was. My brain was.
So if anybody
thinking
says
that,
Swedish meatballs, they win. When do you want me to post this?
As soon as the episode drops, like a little bit after the episode drops, probably this weekend. It'll be like Saturday. Good
meatball time. Yeah,
it is. It is. So
I love meatballs.
Hold it. Should we eat meatballs at the 50-mile race? Let me ask the Magic 8 Ball.
How about eating them really quickly right before a race? How about before 5K?
It says very doubtful. I don't
5K, very doubtful. Yeah.
This is I don't know if I'm trusting the Magic 8 Ball these days, but I got to live by it, right?
I mean, you kind of have to.
You do.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
Now I
All
want
kids.
meatballs.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No.
Don't me.
That's what you got, young lady. Don't you
Meatballs with corn. That sounds gross.
Very good.
All right. Well, it was
Okay.
fun.
Fred, your headphones look great.
I know they're great,
Yeah,
aren't
they
they? They have so much better sound too. They're really good. Thank you.
Fancy.
Beck, we'll set you up, okay? All you got to do is
I like
break
mine.
yours.
Yeah, mine are good. Mine are good.
Thank
They're
you,
the broken
Patreons.
ones right here.
Oh,
Like Fred did. Thank you, Patreons, for buying Fred new headphones.
Yeah.
Now I just got to decorate
There's
my
the part that's
stage.
supposed to connect.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I got to decorate my stage.
Oh, you can put that banner behind you.
Ooh, I can hang the banner up when it comes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Slap yourself in the banner.
Nice.
Sorry,
That sounds good.
Wrapped in the banner.
Oh, I'm going to wear the banner.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
approve.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Time to go to
All
bed.
right, kids. Yeah.
Yes.
Way past my bedtime.
Very good.
Celeste is going to be up in a couple hours, so she's got to get to bed.
Yeah.
Truth.
Will Celeste wake up and go for a long run this morning?
She can't.
No,
She's
I'm
on a taper.
tapering.
She's tapering.
It says
Wait, what are you tapering for?
Outlook not
Hamster
so
wheel.
good.
Oh, right. I never started.
Good. Outlook not so good. That's
Yeah.
positive.
No,
I
I'm
was
not.
like, all of a sudden, like, oh my God, I should start tapering. And then I'm like, you dummy, you didn't do any long runs.
That's what my friend Gary used to always say. Somebody'd say, like, oh, he's tapering. And he'd say, from what?
Oh,
Like he didn't train. What's he tapering from? I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh,
I
okay,
ran
all right,
Friday.
all
I
right."
ran like 16 or 17 with Tony B.
Nice.
Wow. And then
Tony
you did the
Banana.
race.
Yeah,
And then you did the
I did
race?
the race on Sunday. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
excellent.
man.
Oh, there's your back-to-back long. You are totally trained.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I was gonna
You
run.
guys should have
I
the
can
car
taper.
warmed up, have food ready for me.
Know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about running around Manhattan next weekend.
That's
Oh.
Circumnavigating.
Is that like 54 miles or something?
No, it's like 30, 31, 32.
Oh, that's not so bad.
It's
Oh,
not
that's
like
fine.
I'm probably not doing it right. Like Ultra Walker would probably set my shit
Slap your
straight.
face and tell you.
Or Joe Morris Row might be like, oh, yeah, you have to go down this
Ooh.
street. Yeah.
Say you zigged while you should have zagged, my boy.
Yeah.
Should have waited for the light. Let the taxi hit you, man. Take it. You got to take it.